What is going on, Fightful Faithful? Welcome back to another interview here today on Fightful Overbooked. Today we are here with Unbreakable Terry Thatcher. How are you doing today, Terry?
Not too bad, Corey. Not too bad. Yeah, things are going well right now at the minute. Well,
Yeah.
as well as they can be.
And so you say that going as well as they can be. We're going to start with a little bit of a negative one here for you. Obviously, a Hard Knocks Warzone. You did lose the Hard Knocks World Championship to Sammy D in singles competition. It was an absolute barn burner of a match as ever between you two. And just the reactions to that, what comes next for you in Hard Knocks?
I going into the match. Myself and Sam, we had a little sit down, and I was really kind of drilling home the point about keeping this match pure, keeping it 1-on-1. And hats off to him. Like, give the devil his due. Like he kept it 1-on-1. There was no outside interference. It was strictly, the better man was going to win. And on that day, Sam was the better man. I can hold my hands up on that. Like, look, we all know how good Sammy D is. I've known Sam for probably about 15 years or so, and he's at the best, the absolute best he's ever been is right now. So yeah, absolutely no shame in losing to Sam when he's on that level. As far as what comes next, not really sure as far as Hard Knocks goes, but I do have it in the back of my mind that it has been pointed out to us. We're one apiece now. I've beat Sam, he's beat me. Who knows? Time comes, we'll do the rubber match, and then we'll settle it officially. But like as of right now, yeah, throw my hands up. Sam was the better man on that night. But I do find it kind of funny. As far as Hard Knocks goes, I have an almost unblemished record. So does Sam. The only person that beat Sam was me, and the only person that beat me was Sam. So, if and when the time comes, we'll put it to bed officially who's the number one guy in Hard Knocks Pro Wrestling.
And obviously, Hard Knocks is a promotion that a lot of people in Ireland are talking about now. And when I was talking to Boots Murphy recently, he did say that he feels like it is a freedom promotion, and there's a lot more you can do creatively in the confines of a Hard Knocks rings. And I'm just wondering, is that something that you agree with, and like any examples of that maybe that you've experienced while working with Hard Knocks?
Yeah, definitely. There is a bit of a freedom to Hard Knocks. I think. Because it's new, because the promotion is only just over a year old, it's still got that kind of new car smell to it, and I think the guys, Leon and Steve, are like they're learning on the job. So they are taking as much input from all the guys and the girls, just about like what to do best. At the end of the day, obviously, like it's their show, it's their sandbox, so they make the rules and they decide what's happening. But like they are very open to our input as well. Whereas with someone along the lines of, like, say, on the opposite side then of like OTT with Joe, and we're coming up on 10 years now, and Joe, he'll collaborate and he will take input, but like it's very, very clear Joe is the like he's the top dog there, and like what he says goes. And if he has an idea in mind, he's most likely he's gonna run with that. He will, like as I said, he'll take input, but like it's the Joe show. So like it's all down to him.
And obviously, just sticking with that OTT and Joe, obviously, you have stepped in the ring with Joe previously in a singles match, but as of late now, you have kind of just stepped up more with OTT. You were in the local Rumble, you were at Gaff Party at Dublin, where you had that brawl with Noah Walker. Obviously, the Noah Walker stuff is going to be what's first and foremost on your mind. But first, what for you is the perfect way to finish off that stuff with Noah, and for you in OTT, what comes next after that?
Well, as far as the Noah thing, like I've been back now since January. For whatever reason, it just the match hasn't happened. It's bound to happen. It's going to happen at some point, and I've said it countless times before. Like, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't have to happen in the ring. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna eventually. We're gonna cross paths properly, and we're gonna have that scrap. And look, I might not. I'm not the biggest. I'm very aware. Contrary to how I behave, I'm actually not an idiot. I'm fully aware of how big Noah is. Like, I know how dangerous he is the whole reason I brought him into the detachment. But I also I've fought bigger. I've fought better. And I've beaten them as well. So, like, as far as Noah Walker is concerned, his day is coming. And just put it in the ring, make it official. Fair enough. If not, I'll do it my own way. But it's always the same. It's always the same goal. Like, no matter where I am, but particularly with OTT, and that I'm looking for gold again. Bit of an awkward situation at the minute, considering all the gold. Like, you've got the GN Championship is stuck in France. Renzo, however, he's out there pulling it off where he won't defend it against any Irish people. And who knows when we'll see the heavyweight title again, because Trent Seven has it. And if anybody who's been paying attention to OTT over the past 10 years knows what that means for that championship. Just look at what he did with the tag belts. So yeah, I am how and if I get another title shot in OTT, I don't know, but maybe I'll get myself a tag partner and finally have that match with Maxer. But yeah, like as soon as if I can sort this stuff with Noah, if I can get that sorted, then I'm back in the hunt for championships, because like it's always been the goal. It'll never change. And again, I'm fully aware that I've more years behind me than I do in front of me. Like, I'm 30. I'll be 37 this year. So like, I realistically, maybe another 5 max.
Yeah.
So like, I want to make the most of it, and I want to have as much accomplishments in the locker for if and when it does happen, when I decide to properly take that step away.
And you did mention it there, that you are coming up, as you said, coming up on 37. You have been doing this for nearly 2 decades now in the Irish scene, like nearly almost exclusively in the Irish scene. And so, as someone who has been around that long and has been consistently on the scene, to see it grow to what it's become in 2024 now, with OTT, with Hard Knocks, with NLW, with just all the promotions around the country now. For you, does that make you proud to see that of the Irish scene?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I can't remember. I was talking to someone there the other night, and just realizing how far we've come. Like, because even since when I started, and I started in 2005, and the scene had been around for a couple of years by that point, but like, it's night and day. Like, back then, you had maybe 3 promotions in the Republic, and nobody was allowed to work with each other. No one was allowed to train together. Jesus, I was even like, I was discouraged from being friends with them, with anybody from the other promotions. Like, again, showing my age, but like on my MySpace page, I had like some of the guys that trained me, but they had moved on from IWW to NLW, which is essentially Fight Factory now. And I had them in my bio as my trainers, and I was actually told, take their name off your bio. You don't want to be associated with anybody who's not part of IWW anymore. So like, that's how petty it was back then. That like, you couldn't even be friends with some of these people. You couldn't mention that you were associated with them in any way. And just to see where it is now, where there's lads that are training in every skill, that are working every show. There's communication between the promoters. There's like, everybody is working to make the scene better. It's just it really is. It's night and day, and it's so cool to see, especially like you see how world renowned OTT is now. It's something special, and you again seeing so many of the OGs now flying the flag in the States and in Japan. It's just like, it's really, really cool. Like, Jesus, Becky Lynch was just in the White House the other day. Like, got a photo with the president, and she started in NLW. Oh, sorry, NWA. Like, Jesus, I think she may have been on the first show I ever went to see. As far as I remember, it was like herself and Fergal, Finn Balor, and all were on that show. And it's kind of cool. And like, I say this all the time when I'm talking directly to him, but I talk about like my first show, and the main event is Paddy Morrow, and now me and Paddy are mates, and like, I consider him a peer, like, and a friend, like, and it's so cool when I think back to that, to now, and how far everything, not just the scene, but how far I've come as well, from being that dude in the crowd to now being able to shoot the shit with Paddy Morrow.
And just like, as I mentioned, you have spent much of your career. You haven't really explored the European scene as much as some other talent in OTT or the other Irish promotions would have. Is that something that you do want to do before you hang it up, or are you happy just having your home base in Ireland and wrestling OTT, Hard Knocks, and so on?
It's. I would like to maybe kind of branch out just a little, just dip my foot in. But I think like my bread and butter is here. Like, I've often talked about it on other interviews and stuff like that, where like, I'd say, like, maybe when I was younger, had I put the work in back then, I probably could have went further. But I just I don't know, I was lazy or whatever, or I was just enjoying my life too much, and just never I never pursued it any further. Now the position I'm in, like, I'm a family man. I've got my two girls. I've got my missus, and like, I'm perfectly fine here. I love my home life. I love what I've got going on. So I think the idea of me going abroad or trying to go further or anything like that, maybe that ship has sailed, but I'm cool with that. Like, I love this scene. I love being a part of the Irish scene, and like mentioning Paddy Morrow there a few minutes ago, but like, I'd love to be in the position he's in now, where when it's time for me to hang up my custom cons, then like, I'll step into a trainer role or a coach role, and just give back in that way, whichever way I can. And like, I'm getting there. I'm slowly but surely easing into that position, because like, a lot of the lads will come to me and ask for feedback on matches, or just run ideas with me and stuff like that. And I'll do my best to help them out. But like someday over the next few years, I would like to start getting into that role a bit more, branching into that. And almost be like a cautionary tale to some of the younger lads, like while you have the time, put the effort in. And looking around at the new crop, they don't need any of that motivate. They don't need any motivation from me, because like they're all in the gym, they're at the schools every day. They are putting the graft in. Like a lot of the lads are only been over in France. They're absolutely hitting the ground running, and all power to them. But like I'll be there to give whatever kind of feedback I can. So yeah, that's Irish scene for me, really.
And obviously, you mentioned it there. The younger lads in the scene. There's so much talent in the scene now. You've got Keane Noonan, you've got Boots, you've got Jay, you've got just so many of these young lads are coming in with such a high technical level and just a great understanding of the sport. But is there anyone for you that stands out in the next generation? Someone that you can see that's going to like. It could be that kind of next kind of person to kind of even hit the heights of the likes of someone like you mentioned on Finn Balor.
I can definitely see LJ going to bigger and better things. I can imagine LJ. I can see LJ in somewhere like NXT. I can see Jay going further. They're definitely the two kind of the front runners. I can also like guys like Fabio and Steers. Like they are insanely talented. Like every time I watch either of those two boys having matches, and I'll be standing behind the curtain and just going, Jesus Christ, lads! Like that was insane. Like just some of the things that they do, and just how smooth they're able to execute everything. They're like tailor made for. They'd be ideal for someone like TNA. They'd be perfect in there. But yeah, like I don't know. I can see Debbie going further as well.
Yeah.
I like imagine her. Like imagine Debbie on NXT finally getting to tie up with Aoife again, with Lyra. That'd be deadly. Even Nita Vaughn as well, who's like she has come on so far over the past couple of years, like because she was only like really getting into it when the pandemic hit. So like she's come on so far just even since we got back up and running. But yeah, there's so many newer guys and girls. Jesus, I'm not even mentioning everybody, like lads like CBL and Renzo and Boots. Like just there's actually we are so spoiled with the amount of newer, younger talent that we've got, and it's kind of cool with guys like myself or Maxer or Corvin and a few of the others like that have been around for as long as we have, and we're still here, kind of giving the dig out as well. But like it's such a cool scene with all the newer talent. But yeah, plenty of them I could see going further.
And obviously with the newer talent, but you have locked up some incredible imports into OTT, into other promotions over the years, and I do want to talk to you a little bit about some of them. But I think I'm going to start with one that you got an anniversary. You had an anniversary a couple of days ago, and now that was the first time I'd seen those photos of post meeting Bronson Reed in the ring, and. Just want to get a kind of a description of how it feels to get those chops from him.
It was that was a fun one. It's genuinely one of the most important matches of my career, because like I wasn't really I was kind of spinning my wheels before that, and then I had like a match the month before on Contenders that turned me babyface. Fun little match with what I do call Eddie Stone. And then after that, I was just very randomly, it was just okay. Well, you're gonna work this big lad Jonah Rock, and I'm truth be told, like I'm not too up on a lot of indie wrestling. So like I was like, oh cool, well I'll go check him out, and like shit myself when I saw the highlight videos. It was like, oh my god, he's gonna murder me. So we went into it, and I had all these ideas, and like, peeling back the curtain or whatever. But like, I kind of came up like after watching his highlight videos and going, oh, we could do something with that, or he could throw me up and like catch me. Oh yeah, he'd be able to hit me with that, and I had this vision in my head. Did you ever see the Brock Lesnar AJ Styles match from one of the Survivor Series a few years back?
The catfish spot, I'm guessing you're talking about.
So
No?
yeah, I think it was just the whole match in general was it was like an elongated squash in some respects, where it was just like Brock just bet the absolute life out of AJ. But then slowly but surely AJ started making his way back in, and genuinely one of my favorite matches. But I was going with that like that's the kind of match I want to have, and I had it in my head that like that'd be the perfect way for me to get over as a baby face. That like, look, the story is there in front of you. You see the size difference, so like we don't need any help with telling that story. But if we're gonna make it something special, I have to be annihilated for 80% of the match. And I think he started off, and I chop him once and then go for it again, and he just catches my hand and just looks at me. It's like, and a forced chop sent me a good 3/4 across the ring. Immediately regretted my decision of how I planned the match, but it was like, we're in the deep end now, so fuck it, go on. So yeah, I don't know. I should probably go back and watch it and count how many times I got chopped in that, but it was a lot.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
definitely a lot.
I think after say the third or fourth one, I just I think I just got a bit numb to it and stopped feeling them. Yeah, it's genuinely, it's one of my favorite matches that I've ever had. It's one of the most important matches of my career, because it really kind of helped me elevate, it helped me up to the next level. And I think it was genuine, like it was after that the wheels started turning then for me to get the NLW championship, because like, when you watch the whole build to that, it was set up essentially for Scotty's crowning moment. Like he was going to get the NLW, but I think whatever happened in that match just changed a lot of people's perceptions on me, and just this underdog story. And it was that, and then we did the sit down promos, the side by the like it was edited, so it was side by side or whatever, where Scotty really kind of delved into his amateur background, and I delved into my changes in character. And really, that was the kind of first time where I really started mentioning that, like, here, I'm a dad, and everything I do in my life is like dictated around being a father. And father comes like my whole goal was to win a championship so I can show it to Orla and go, hey, look, this whole wrestling thing, it's actually kind of cool. Look what I got. Yeah. It's a big prize. Like that, I think that the match with Jonah and then the that promo, I think that really kind of sealed the deal then, like on the day, just finding out, look, I think we're going to go with Thatcher today. Because as he put it to us, if we don't pull the trigger on Thatcher now, we never will. Whereas Scotty could and did eventually get the championship down the line anyway. So like, it, yeah, it was kind of cool, and it's one of those that like I've always trusted Joe's judgment now as well,
Yeah.
because he's kind of always had my back. With some of the booking, like, and don't get me wrong, some of the bookings I might not have necessarily agreed with, but I've always kind of had it in the back of my head that like, no, I'll trust Joe. I'll
Yeah.
trust his judgment. Like, so yeah, I was yeah, very happy with the match. Very happy where it led to. And yeah, just really cool moment. Painful,
And
but cool.
from one type of pain, we're going to go to another. Now there is a match that obviously I'm very familiar with. I've watched a couple of times of yours with Mr. Timothy Thatcher. Now the Thatcher off was that's a much different kind of pain to
Yeah,
what Jonah brings. A lot of joint manipulation, a lot of submissions, and
yeah.
for you as someone who does have a technical base in the ring as well, was that something that meant a lot to you to get to wrestle Timothy in that kind of way?
Oh yeah. And that had been kind of, I don't want to say years in the making, but at least for me it was, because
Yeah.
once it was like, God, there's another Thatcher around. It was like, we have to have this. Like, it has to be like a Thatcherbowl. And like, this was also around the height of Game of Thrones as well. So there was all Game Ball going on. So it was like, oh, Thatcherball, this is going to be amazing. And it made perfect sense, because like, I'm the guy who gets beat up, and he's the guy who really enjoys beating people up. So like, it kind of sold itself. But yeah, he's an interesting cat. Like, that dude, he really is. Like, in the like, you know, completely stays off of social media. Like, how he works is so different. Like, he doesn't hit the ropes at all. Like, if you watch some of
Mm.
his matches, and you never know, you won't notice it initially until someone points it out. I was like, holy shit, he doesn't ever actually hit the ropes.
Just
He just,
beats the
like, he might
smile, yeah.
lean on them a little, but like,
Yeah.
he very rarely does like Irish whips around like that. Like, and you go in trying to plan a match and go, oh wait, no, this is very different. This is a very different
Mm.
approach. But yeah, like, I I have like, I have a bit of a technical base, but I think a lot of my strengths in that area is one of my weaknesses in every other area, because I am so small.
Mm.
Um, but I'm I don't know, it gets hard to pin down that I
Wiley.
can maneuver my way out of a lot of situations. So yeah, I think that helps me in a lot of aspects. But yeah, that was another. That was, yeah, like you said, a very different type of pain, but still very painful anyway.
And another, just one last uh, tale from the past kind of a question. You did as well, Mr. Eddie Kingston. Obviously, he is at present one of the top stars in AEW's Continental Champion. He's wrestling Okada this week. Um, just that was just another thing entirely as well. A whole different type of match, because obviously Eddie is a very brawler type of wrestler and all that. But when you were in the ring, did you get the sense of like what he kind of developed into as a star that he is today?
Um, I didn't know that he would be a TV, that he would be like a TV wrestler. I couldn't imagine it.
Yeah.
Um, I I thought like he's like king of the indies
Hmm.
type guy. But I was a bit in awe of him until I started talking to him, and then I was like, oh, he's like the soundest dude in the world, and like, again, slightly peeled behind the curtain, but like, even like on the day, and we're trying to figure out like, well, which way is the match gonna go, and the way he put it to us is just like, well, Thatcher's gonna be here next week. I won't. So doesn't make sense for me to get the win. Like, you know,
Yeah.
he's just genuinely one of the most professional people I've ever worked with. From just calling the match was, I don't know, maybe a half an hour before we went out, and I think we had a pretty decent match. But like, it was just cool. We'll do this. We'll do this. You do this. Cool. I'll do this. And it was like clockwork. And it really put me at ease because this was my first stadium match as well. However many stadium shows there have been, and I hadn't been on one of them, so it was almost a bit of a testimonial match for me. Yeah, I thought Thatcher finally gets a shot on the big stage, but he made me work for it. Absolutely made me work for it. But I really appreciated just his attitude towards the show and towards me and to OTT and just in general. Like, it was just, like I said, just such an absolute pro to work with, and I'm absolutely delighted to see how far he's gone because, like I said, couldn't have imagined it at the time that he'd be a TV wrestler. Just just did not seem like it was on the cards for him. But then again, I don't was AEW around? I think it may have been around, or it may have just started.
Yeah.
So still very early days, but no, it's perfect place for someone like Eddie. He's one of my favorite aspects of AEW, and even though unfortunately, I don't get the chance to watch AEW a lot, I always try and keep up with what he's been up to. He was one of my faves.
And just one last question before I do let you go, Terry. Earlier today, Scrapmania 8 finally confirmed for August 10th. Big event, obviously. You just mentioned it there. Stadium show, like usual. If obviously you've got Noah Walker coming up and to deal with, you do want the gold, but if you could kind of book yourself into any kind of match, if you could get any match you wanted at that show, what would it be? Like, well, keep it in the confines of a little bit of reality. Obviously, you can't be asking for Dwayne Johnson to come all the way up.
It's like, we'll get Sean out of retirement.
Yeah.
No, we don't need to see that again.
No.
I don't know, like if.
Big question.
If I don't get to get my hands on Noah before then obviously beating the piss out of him now, like in the National Stadium, that'd be pretty cool. But if not that, and like I said, like August is a long time away. I waited a long time to get my hands on Noah. I'm not gonna choose to wait until August. But yeah, stadium wise, there was a match that was booked for the stadium show that was cancelled before just as COVID was hitting, and it was like a Team OTT versus Team International, and that would have been really cool. But like, that would have been the very first time me and Maxer had ever shared a ring, and it got taken away from us. So in some way, anyway, of getting a chance to wrestle Maxer, ideally, be brilliant if it was in the National Stadium again for two lads that have walked in the little halls, that have walked in the little gyms, that have walked in front of 20 people in storage units and stuff like that. Like, this would be pretty awesome. And it just, again, personal kind of bucket list moment for me. If there's a championship there, cool. I think if I was gonna say anyone international, maybe Darby Allin. Just because I think that will be an interesting match. Who can
ragdoll better?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I was as a tag against two monsters.
God.
But yeah, no, I think that'd be kind of cool. Just again, I'm probably overemphasizing how much of a beating I could take. Like, because Jesus Christ, that poor lad. We'll see. Like, we'll leave that on the back burner and see if he makes it down from Mount Everest.
Oh, you
But yeah.
didn't hear? No,
He
he
broke
broke
his
his
foot,
foot.
didn't he?
But
So
yeah,
he
he's out
can't
of
do
Everest.
it.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Ah.
Yeah.
Poor lad. Yeah, but sure. Maybe that might free him up for August then.
Maybe. Uh, Thanks so much, Terry, for sitting down with me today. Absolutely
Not a bother.
fantastic.
Sorry it's had to take it so long to get this organized. Yeah, just family life,
No,
kids. Yeah.
yeah, no bothers at all. Is there anything you want to plug coming up? Obviously, your social media and anything coming up where people can see you performing.
Well, there's Showdown on Sheriff Street, which is not Sheriff Street. It's the Finglas show. Sorry, it's OTT Live in Finglas is this Saturday, the 23rd. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
23rd. This Saturday in Finglas. That should be good. Justin Daniels and Scotty Davis going for the Irish Heritage Championship. Next week is Good Friday RCW. I have my debut sort of for RCW. Well, technically my debut for RCW, but yeah, my first time back down in Cork now in a while. It's me, Robbie X, and Leighton Buzzard for the Rebel X Championship. That should be a hell of a lot of fun.
that's gonna be amazing, man.
There is OTT Supremacy coming up on April 7th on Mania weekend. There's Contenders coming up at the end of April. That's I think there's also a Hard Knock show coming up for that as well. Just a lot of shows coming up. But yeah, you can catch all of that information. I'd usually post and repost and retweet and whatever on my X account. I went and called it X on my Twitter account at Detached. Same for my Instagram account as well. It's just at Detached, and I share any upcoming shows and stuff on that. But yeah, that's me.
All right, guys, that's going to be the end of this interview. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to Fightful Overbooked. Come back for more interviews on the Irish and UK scene. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.